Ah, the central Colorado Rocky Mountains, Summit County. In a moment, I'll show you a map with the route. But for the moment, let's take in some views. Lake Dillon is actually a reservoir. There was a town called Dillon that was actually flooded to build Lake Dillon. So the town was relocated to its present site. It's also surrounded by Frisco and Silverthorne, and you will be skirting or going through all of these towns. But mostly you're out in the wide open spaces taking in views like this. This is me approaching the summit. There is a ridge, but it's probably around a 900-foot elevation gain, nothing too huge. And I would highly recommend going in a clockwise direction around the lake, or reservoir it really is what it is. It's a reservoir. And there are several reasons for that I'll explain in a moment. And here are some signs. The route is well signed and in places, but there's enough little turns that I thought a map would be helpful. So here's Lake Dillon. I started from Frisco, which I highly recommend doing, because from Frisco you go through this wonderful preserved wetland and woodland right here along the northeastern edge of town. You're along this old highway that crosses the dam for a little bit, but there's a big wide shoulder and actually a bike lane. Here you're crossing the dam that forms Lake Dillon, Dillon Reservoir. There's a couple of places over here in the town of Dillon, the relocated town, where you have to pay attention to signage, but nothing huge. Right here, you need to make sure that you don't get on the highway going to Keystone. You're going to be following the path as I show right here. The main thing to be aware of is this is not signed at all, at least when I was there. It's September 2020. Right there at this intersection, you need to turn south because otherwise you're going to be heading to Keystone. What you want to do is turn south and go in the back of this subdivision, and you're going to wind up. This is the only really steep part. This right here, it's steep, but it's thankfully pretty brief. But you're rewarded with some spectacular views, as you saw. There's a false summit where you think, I've conquered the summit. But then about maybe a mile later is the real summit. And then this part is the only part that is not so good, and this is why I recommend going clockwise, because you're going down this fairly busy road. Fortunately, there's a sign saying watch for cyclists. And then on the way back to Frisco, you're going along the Breckenridge-Frisco path or trail, which is quite lovely, and I described that in another video. So go clockwise so you go down the hill with the traffic rather than go up, because if you're going up, then you're going to be with the traffic along that pretty busy road, Swan Mountain Road, for quite a while. So go clockwise is what I would recommend, but the point is get out there on the landscape, explore, see geography, and get out there on your bicycle. Thanks.